All right, so it's here for now. For there is a quick update about a year Matthew Opoku Prempeh. We all know, sir, recently, just a few weeks ago, and MPP for any information, but to just by the end of this particular month, we and Ghanaians should expect that Bawumia is going to name his running mate. We know certainly second in Japan is not part, not because Ken is not qualified, but Ken has refused to be part of Bawumia's a year as Bawumia's running mate, even though he's campaigning for him. Ken Japan feels like he has his own views, Bawumia has his own views, so it's better for Bawumia to get somebody who will be in sync with his ideas. Now, far from that, so the whole thing about running mates have been labeled down, and as have been struck down to just two people, and just some few people. We are talking about Matthew Opoku Prempeh, we are talking about Eslous, we are talking about Fremont Parry, we are even talking about Opoku Nyina, Reverend Opoku Nyina. All these people are contenders and purported contestants who want to stand as the running mate for Dr. Bawumia. But today, me know a fresh update patches. There is a petitioner, MPP Council of Elders, Omar Fale. Basically, they've rejected Napo as the running mate. Now, Napo has had his fair share of criticism from people saying he doesn't respect, and even people alleging Matthew Opoku Prempeh only the right candidacy for their job. But before then, just some few weeks ago, and NIB conduct a year solving nature preferably Nipa Ghana for Ihiana running mate Matthew Opoku Prempeh. Now, young question just a snippet of how that particular issue was reported. I'll give you who this particular lady is. Minoka said reportedly, she is because Oba replace Napo as a running mate because the MPP Council of Elders are still of the views that Napo Oyobia he's arrogant and he doesn't respect.
When NIB carrying out the survey, the least said about them, the better. So I'm going to just put up a graph from the survey to show you exactly how all the candidates who were polled fared during this survey conducted by the NIB, the National Investigations Bureau. So this is the 2024 election NIB survey, preferred running mate for Bawumia. All right, so 76.27% of the party members, delegates who voted said that they prefer Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. 10.16% said they prefer Yao Osei Educhum. 4.57% said other. 3.38% said Osei Mensa Bonsu. Then 3.34% said Fremont Parry, and 2.27% said Joe Osei.
Okay, so basically, that was the survey you saw. You could see clearly, even Soviet NI before, the person who was leading in this particular post, Matthew Opoku Prempeh. Now, we want you to pay very close attention to what is going on. Even MPP affiliated station, Asasi Radio, Epost TV, as you can see, NIB survey says that Napo is most preferred running mate to Dr. Bawumia. So this is it, okay? But then, that story, and there's a new twist to the story. In Sama Abane said MPP Council of Elders have rejected Napo as the running mate. MPP Council of Elders apparently have rejected Napo as the running mate. Now, as to why they have rejected Napo as the running mate, we don't know. But then we are hearing it is because of Napo. According to MPP Council of Elders, people are saying Napo you be a Sebio Umbuadi, Sebio. I don't even know how to put it. He is not a person we can trust. So now people have said because NDC have chosen a Jena no Pukwajima, it would be right for MPP to also show that women do matter in politics, and in fact they also want a woman preferably in the future to take on to be Ghana's president. As you can see on the screen, so they are preferring this particular woman, Professor Akuffo Dixon. Professor Akuffo Dixon. Again, we will put in this on the screen because it's very important for you to know where this is going and even how this whole thing is even where it is even leading. Now let's put this on the screen because information nearby and about gromu, but now we are learning say if you watch this particular thing on the screens close or say just in the MPP Council of Elders have rejected Napo and I've directed Bawumia to mention Professor Akosua Dixon as his running mate. The pressure of J Nana Opoku Agyeman. So now people assume he say pressure J Nana Opoku Agyeman and NDC Fatuma MPP and by force no. Even though the service says that J Nana Macho Opoku Prempeh a preferable candidate as a running mate, so MPP still want to go for a woman. The Council of Elders have rejected Napo. Now, if this is true, then it is a big thing, and as a idea was saying, it should be a concern. Now, Obi or flag representing the running mate, and yes, sorry, now presenting running mate usually goes through certain steps. It has to go through the Council of Elders. The Council of Elders have to sit and approve of it. So we saw, say, before 2000 elections, 2001 election, we saw that Akuffo candidate or the call first. We are hearing say he was rejected by the MPP Council of Elders, and ultimately they settled with Dr. Aliu Mahama, the former vice president of Ghana. So clearly you could see very well, say, in as much as Bawumia can choose his running mate, the MPP Council of Elders also have a say. They have the ability to reject and also accept the candidates. So clearly, if this issue is true, then it's a very big blow to Napo, because people are saying, say, Napo Mbuadie. But recall, Napo Suyobia a huge endorsement from the likes of Kene Japan and even Alan Koji Chairman. People feel like he's a personal Obitimabua. But as to the party and the MPP Council of Elders, we don't know. Now, if they are settling on this woman, then they should rather settle on Fremont Parry. Because Fremont Parry will be a ban of the New Patriotic Party now, or a very popular. So we don't know why the New Patriotic Party will reject Napo and choose this lady instead of choosing Jina Fremont Opare and answer Abia Esla Owusu and the like. So we're giving you more update, but then no, you can show a video of how Napo himself in seminar course he has definitely not responded to any of this, but then clearly it is something that me sure say on Rankasano on any team I'm sure by now they're having a crisis management, that they are doing everything possible to know where all of this is going, even how they can solve this themselves. It is a very sad issue, but I'll be giving you more update. But answer and the question Napo in the works.
African government's priority should be eradicating poverty and creating an enabling environment for its population to produce food to feed nations. Unfortunately, you will find energy, fuel, and fertilizer among the most highly taxed. So, how can we assure affordable energy, fuel, and agricultural inputs? I know that affordable energy you were talking about a little bit earlier. Go ahead.
Yes. People claim that African governments do put taxes on energy and agricultural produce and things like that. But when you look at the tax regimes across most of Africa, it's probably one of the lowest in the world. When you look at the financial incentives, the tax incentives given to businesses and the tax holidays given to businesses to come and invest in Africa, it's probably one of the best in the world. People come and invest and they have 10-year tax holiday, they are tax exempt from bringing and duty exempt from bringing equipment into the country. Everything is being done by African countries for investors, not only to come but to thrive. So really, when you look at investment opportunities around the world, and there's this comparison about the incentives various countries give to investors coming, Africa gives some of the best incentives than anywhere else continent. The problem we seem to have, rightly and probably wrongly used by the West against African countries, is country perceptions. So they price everything and add country risk perception, and nothing becomes bankable in Africa. Nothing becomes bankable in Africa. And that has got nothing to do with African countries themselves, everything to do with the West. Example, you want us to adopt the technology to be able to go to net zero. You make a promise in Paris. You don't deliver the promise, the financial promise, nor you deliver the technology promise. Yet you want African countries to borrow at commercial rates to fund the preparatory stages for investors to come. It's difficult. It's really, really difficult for African countries. And people must assume, just don't sit back and say your taxes are high. In my country, people say the taxes are high. But the last time I compared petrol fuel prices with the whole of Europe, ours is far below. Yes, we still cannot complain, I'll still accept complaints, but it's still high because of the poverty levels in our country. But African countries must realize that we are in a difficult position. That is why we need, one thing that I always say, we need the human capital. And most African countries' human capital resides outside Africa. We need to bring our diasporans back with the technology and the skills that they have attracted to add value to what we are doing in Africa. I don't remember a continent that developed in the last 50 years without its diasporans coming back. India, Japan, just mentioned South Korea. They went, got trained, got educated, but came back home to help in the struggle and the emancipation of their countries. That is what we are lacking. It's not because our incentives for investors are bad. It's probably one of the best. It's not because we have only got the natural resources. We have more natural resources than any continent. What is lacking is the human endowment, the human capacity to add to what we have to take us to where we want to go to. And I think that with a forum like this, what I would encourage to African students having the opportunity to study in some of the best universities around the world should make it